What's up, guys? Welcome to Chan and Veed's TBD named podcast for Thursday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. How you doing, Ho?
Hey, doing good. Drinking Mexican water on the big day.
Chan is drinking some Mexican water.
I can't complain, David. I can't complain. How about yourself?
I got some drama with the girl. I think I might have fucked it up for good. Other than that, life's pretty good. Damn it. Yo, by the way, no cursing in the first, I think it's like 10 minutes or something where the algorithm doesn't like it. So that's my bad.
All good. All good.
But how you're good? Swell? Just drinking a little. Dustin Harris, what's up, brother? How are you? So on the docket today, we're going to run through first. Kicking it off, we got to touch on Kelsey Whitmore. We got a dead ball stat to follow up on last week, and then let's start a little team-by-team pulse check. Maybe look forward to the weekend a little bit. But just cruise through, Ho. How's it sound? Good?
Yeah, I love it. And then we'll finish up with some Friday picks and
it is
keep
Dustin.
moving. Yeah, I like it. All right, Dustin.
Okay.
What do you want to talk about, Dustin?
Yeah, Dustin, let us know if you have any things you want to touch on specifically. But we got to start with Kelsey Whitmore. This chick, she has tons of softball experience. I think she played for Team USA. This chick struck out a guy in an actual minor league game with the bases juiced.
With the bases juiced, not to mention a former MLB player, Ryan Jackson.
He did. He played insane.
Wasn't he a Cardinal?
I don't know. I didn't see exactly who the guy was, but this is for the Staten Island Fairy Hawks. This is out near our home turf.
Yeah, this is an independent baseball team, so not affiliated with any organization.
Oh,
the guy she struck out, the Ryan Jackson guy. If you've never heard of him, don't worry. I hadn't either. He played 2 years on the Cards, where he averaged a .83 career. And then played in 22 games in Los Angeles and had a 0 batting average.
Still though, she's had 2 plate appearances this season.
Oh, I'm not saying that to discount what she did because I still think it's pretty cool. But I'm just saying I'd never even heard of this Ryan Jackson guy.
Oh yeah, still, now you have, and he's gonna live in infamy.
Yeah, exactly.
As
if a few bad years in the majors weren't enough.
This is his cross to bear now.
This is his cross to bear. He's going to wear this for the rest of his life. That being said, though, honestly, my hat's off to Kelsey Whitmore. First off, I want to put an emphasis on the athleticism it takes to play fast pitch softball. Not to mention to translate your pitch from being a fast pitch softball pitcher to a baseball overhand pitcher. And the mechanics and what needs to be changed for that and to still be effective. What are her? What's her pitch arsenal look like? I didn't see.
I don't know. I honestly couldn't find. The only clips I could find were her walking off the field after. I couldn't tell. I assumed she threw overhand, which is wildly impressive. Marty, it's okay, dude. Your Red Sox do stink, though, man. They really do.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking about that, Marty.
Yeah, we'll go team by team. But this is an she's got to throw. She probably throws like a natural sinker. Probably throws a changeup. She probably throws some of the easier things to throw, huh? It's impressive she plays outfield too.
Yeah, she plays outfield, left field. This is the first game that she. This is the first game she's pitched. Other than when she was in Sonoma back in 16-17.
Insanity.
Did not pitch well. Had an 18.9 ERA during her time in Sonoma.
I'm sorry, Mike Jackson, man. That's rough, dude.
Ryan Jackson.
Ryan. That's the name. Ryan Jackson. You ever meet another Ryan Jackson in your life, just be like, hey.
I've met a few Ryan Jacksons in my life, and I will say this: hats off to our girl Kelsey Whitmore. Unbelievable accomplishment.
Cute too.
Would love to see. Yeah, would love to see the trails. Would love to see the trails get blazed, and maybe she's onto something. Would be really interesting for the sport and could provide a lot of. Listen, for those of you listeners that don't know, David and I, big baseball enthusiasts. Our motto is that if it's good for baseball, it's good for us because we want baseball to be successful. We're tired of seeing it die.
We want it to
and
be
we're
around.
Here to help bring
I'd
it
like
back.
to see it be around for my kids.
Exactly. And in today's social climate, having a woman represented at the major league level, would be a good thing.
A little thick, but cute. A little thick, cute. Dustin Harris says Tigers, Astros over 8 tonight. Lock it in. Interesting. I'm on the Tigers, so we'll see. It starts in 3 minutes. It does. All right, we spent 5 on our girl Kelsey. Now I wanted to throw in. So Chan, you brought up the dead ball stat, or you brought up the dead ball the other day. I got a stat to throw at you that I saw today. Home runs in early 2022 are down to 0.9 homers a game, under 1, down from 1.22 last year and 1.39 in 2019. There's no more home runs in baseball. You were right.
It's unbelievable. I mean, actually, it's funny you say that because you tell that to Juan Soto, what he's doing. I mean, I'm pretty sure already in the month of May, he's got 6 home runs or something like that.
Holy crap. I like our boys. I like us sitting at the top of it's nice to see Rizzo and Judge at the top of the home run leaderboards. Marty, it would be great it would be good for baseball. I agree. Good for women in sports. All around a good thing. Big fan of Kelsey Whitmore.
Yeah, absolutely. The dead ball era is a problem, man. Listen, like we talk about what's good for the game, and your average Joe fan doesn't want to log in, doesn't want to turn on the TV and watch a pitching duel. They just don't. They want to see home runs. They want to see, exactly. Like they want to see home runs. They want to see hitting. Like they don't want to see a pitcher's duel. And the truth is what they're doing is they're just trying to kind of counteract what happened in 2019. I guess a little bit in 2020. That was kind of a blip that season, but in 2019 where the balls were juiced and, home runs were at an all-time high. I mean, I think we absolutely smoked the major league record of home runs for the season in 2019. Something insane, like blew it out of the water. Then you've got the conspiracy.
Now we've gone too far the other way, ho.
Well, and it's funny. So then there's the conspiracy theorists out there that say, if it's a big offensive free agency pool, then they're going to try and dead the balls a little bit to make it so that they don't get paid as much. And then if it's a big pitching free agency pool, they're going to cork the ball so that pitchers look like
was
shit.
A big pitching free agency pool.
Trevor Bauer was a big proponent of that conspiracy.
So it's a big hitting pool this year coming out?
It is. So, I mean, it's also like you look at this year, it's going to be kind of the year of the shortstop again. I mean, you got Bogarts, you got Trey Turner. I can't remember who else. Technically Correa. I mean, there's a lot of shortstops and a lot of exciting young infielders that are going to be free agents this offseason. And in doing so, we're going to want to see more of what they can do. And this dead ball era is not showing us much. So
it's one thing not pushing marketing, one thing trying to make Mike Trout do whatever. But doing this and then keeping Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know. All right, let's break in, Chan. The purpose of this pod is to keep our pulse on every team in the league, try and shed a little light, but keep our pulse on whether people are playing well, not playing well, certain people we got to look out for, any key injuries. So, Chan, I say we dive in. We start our pulse check with
the
boys in the AL East. The boys in the AL East. Who's sitting at top of the AL East? We are.
So, for those of you that have been sleeping under a rock over the last 2 weeks, the New York baseball Yankees have been on an absolute tear, going after starting 5-5, going 13-2 in their last 15, including an 11-game win streak, and are now sitting with the best winning percentage in baseball at 18-7. They are off today The win streak broke last night in a real kind of sail deflating 2-1 game where the Yankees actually loaded them up in the top of the ninth, and
we had so many
couldn't bring it
opportunities
in.
all game.
So many opportunities. Honestly, very reminiscent of the Yankees that you and I have become so accustomed to the last couple of years. And sad to see. I mean, you look at the team though, and especially yesterday, you look at one of the biggest bright spots, one of the biggest surprises on this year and all across baseball, and that's Mike King.
We were talking about King.
But we got to talk about Mike King. I mean, how can we not talk about Mike King? He hasn't allowed. So he pitched a perfect 3 innings yesterday. For those of you that did not watch the game,
are we always pitching him more than 1 inning?
He is our long relief guy. So I mean, right now, just this season, over 17 innings pitched. He's got 25 Ks. He's only given up 10 hits, and he's given up 1 run, 1 earned run in 8 appearances for a total of 17 innings. I mean, you look at him, his fastball is great as far as location is concerned. Velo, he's topping 96 roughly, which isn't anything to bat an eye at, but it's working.
He's produced almost as much value with his fastball already this season as he did all of last season. That's how electric it's been.
The strides he's taken have been incredible to watch. There's no question about it. But what I will say is that, right now, I mean, he's really the only long-term option I feel comfortable with in the pen. Everyone else is a little bit of a question mark. I see they're trying to stretch Clay Holmes into that position. Johnny Loizaga, obviously not having a great year, and they don't seem to be trusting him very much right now.
Well, and he hasn't proven anything long-term anyways, so.
No, exactly. He hasn't. So
Mike King has a 61% zone or not zone contact, 74% zone contact, 61% contact rate. 61% contact's like better than Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, he has been sensational. He really has been sensational. Even more astonishing than that, you know what starting pitcher leads the team in ERA?
Who? Talon?
Jameson Taillon.
I said it. He was my buy stock at the beginning of the season. I was telling people on my stream. His peripherals, his whole career, have been really, really good. He just like his ERA has been like, 3, high 3s, 4, whatever it's been. He's that guy though, and he's already beaten cancer. He's a guy you want to tab as like he's going to continue to improve. He's still young. So much experience.
Actually, I lied. Nestor's still better than him with 1.82. Yeah. But the fact that also Garrett Cole's brought his ERA down to 3 after 2 or 3 horrendous starts is pretty impressive as well. He's been lights out the last 2 games.
I think one thing I'll say about the 2 things that concern me, I'm not ready to say I'm just neutral on. Like, I don't think they're playing particularly well. I don't think they're playing particularly not well. We've been beating up on shitty teams. We did have a couple
what you're supposed to do.
Yes, a couple impressive wins in Toronto. I'm worried about the lineup longer term once the top 3 guys in our lineup stop hitting 400 each with tons of like DJ's up. I mean, DJ, you can expect it 300, but all these guys are like tearing the cover off the ball. When they stop tearing the cover off the ball, let's see what happens. We're looking a little top heavy because when you get to that middle section of like Gallo, Hicks, and stuff, it's like, dude, this is never going to produce anything.
I agree. There's it's a short lineup in some regards. I mean, like last night when I was watching the game and Joey Gallo gets up in the 9th with 2 outs and man on first and second, I'm thinking like this game's over. Luckily, Joey got the walk, and then IKF came up, and I actually thought we had a shot. But
no, I mean the whole bottom of the lineup. It's like even Donaldson doesn't look great this year. All those numbers look fine, I think.
Donaldson is quietly on an 8-game hit streak, which I was pretty shocked to hear.
I just thought he was more patient than he's been.
Yeah, no, I did too. But
Toronto.
Listen, we can talk about the Yankees till we're blue in the face. Toronto. So it's interesting what I'm seeing out of Toronto. One of the things that I will say is Bo Bichette started this year atrociously. in the last 7 days, he has been, I believe he's hitting he's hitting a little bit over 300. So he's doing a lot better. He is one of my most feared bats in that lineup. I think, once he gets going, that lineup is going to start mashing kind of as everyone thought they were going to, as opposed to,
at some point,
kind of sputtering the way they have.
At some point,
it has to. It has to.
Unless those guys take big step back, but I don't really think all the young guys are going to take big steps back.
No, a healthy Springer, Vlad, Chapman, Espinal, Gurriel, Bichette. This is a lineup that top to bottom is one of the deepest in major leagues.
I agree. The two things that I have notes on them. One, the bullpen might be a problem all season. I might rear its head. It's not a bad bullpen. It's just not a good one.
It's not. I don't love Romano as the closer either.
No. Miza, I like. He's about it. Miza's pretty good. The other note, they play electric team defense. Dude, they play good defense.
They do.
They play good defense. They make just big plays, especially when the game's on the line. 2 or 3 games recently I've seen where they've had game-saving plays in the field, really big game-saving plays. That catch by Springer, the play by Vlad the other night. I just think that kind of stuff plus the juice, eventually this Toronto team, I think, starts heading a lot higher. I think this is a good team that started off the year average to poor, and they're still 16.
I think so too. Their pitching,
what?
Their pitching has left much to be desired as well. Just start.
Speaking of it, Dustin Harris wants the Blue Jays. He needs the Blue Jays tonight.
Dustin's on the BJs, huh?
Yeah. They have, I will say, their expected wins they're supposed to be 12 and 14, but they're 16 and 10. So they have less Pythagorean wins. It's the defense. They play really good defense and timely. They're they're getting better at baseball, those young kids. I like that. I'll buy that team for a little bit. I don't put a full buy sign on them yet, but I think by the end of the season, this is still the team that wins this division.
I agree. Listen, the Yankees are going to cool off. Toronto is on paper the best team in that division. I think we'll see more from them. And then the truth is the Rays are right there with them.
I agree. They're not as bad as I thought they were. They still do Rays to things.
Listen, I know we hammered them a little bit on the last pod talking about their lineup being short.
It is.
So on and so forth. It is, but you look at what they have and for fuck's sake, man, G-Man Choi's hitting 357 this year with
G-Man Choi's
with two dingers and 15 hits, and then they've got Harold Ramirez who's hitting well, Manny Margot who's been as consistent as gravity. Same with Wander Franco,
Juan Wanyardo,
Juan Wanyabo.
Yeah, old Quan.
Mazel tov, Steven.
I think Manny Margot is pretty. I think Manny Margot's pretty good.
I was just saying, Manny Margot is. He's been as consistent as gravity for them this year. He's hitting 306, 22 hits. He's not a power hitter. He's always kind of been a contact hitter, but he's got 12 RBIs this year too. He has been a good staple in that lineup.
Good for
listen,
him.
Randy Arozarena is going to pick it up. You and I have seen him play too much and know that he's way too good for this.
I don't know if he ever
100%.
hits 300. I don't know if he's ever
I don't think he hits 300. I think, in his best, he should be between 260, 270 with 30 home runs.
Yes, I agree.
Which is, I'll sign
because he's on Tampa, 90 RBIs or something because he's on Tampa.
Yeah. Well, and listen, that lineup still has enough protection where he'll see some pitching.
Yes.
And then we get in and then there's Lau, who's been fucking terrible, and Kiermaier, who's also been terrible.
Kiermaier
those guys,
is a terrible hitter, though.
Kiermaier is a terrible hitter. I don't think Lau is below the Mendoza line terrible hitter. So, that's a team that I see always being a force in this division as well.
Yeah, I'm back to like moving them back up into that. Like they're right around like 10. They're like 9-10. I'm going to move them up like 5 spots after this week. Going out and sweeping Oakland is like, it shows me that there's still.
It was huge, yeah.
You still beat
exactly.
Shitty teams. You're still that team that like has that kind of moxie. So I'll move them back up. Boston, however, I'm in full sell mode. The Red Sox suck.
Dude,
They suck.
I am in. So I'm not in full sell mode yet on the Red Sox. Let's talk about it though, and let's start by saying, ha, 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 ha.
You don't get no wins anymore? You want a couple? We have a couple to spare. We still be in first place. We give you one.
So let's talk about this team, because I had the absolute privilege of turning on the game in the 9th inning last night and seeing Diekman blow it. It's a really everything about the Boston Red Sox this year is head scratching. I don't understand, one, what's going on with Alex Cora.
I don't know.
He does not seem to have the moxie anymore. Some wild decisions. Like yesterday, why not let Whitlock go a little longer? Why not let Robles finish out the inning and give Diekman a clean inning? Or not pitch Diekman at all if you don't go to extra innings. On top of that, why bring in fucking Sawamura?
He's a
What
today.
are we doing?
Today he I don't know if that was the plan to go to Hook the whole time in like the 7th or whatever the hell he did, but he brought him in. Hook couldn't find anything. It was like the guy was completely
Hook also
unprepared
hasn't pitched since he hasn't pitched since the end of April, so that didn't really make any sense to me either. He had to miss that entire Toronto series because he's the only backs holdout. But
it's just weird move.
I don't understand how he's running that bullpen. You know what I think it is for him? It's the beard.
Suck?
It's the beard. No, it's the beard.
Oh.
Why? I listen, there's something to be said about the beard. Why does he have the beard? He was one of the best managers in Major League Baseball when he didn't have the beard. Now he's got the beard. He looks like he's never managed a bullpen before.
Something's going on with his personal life. He found his way into some whores, hoe.
I think so too. I mean, they've been fortunate as far as like Evaldi, Waka, and Hill are concerned. And then obviously, Garrett Whitlock, this kid's a revelation. People forget he was
he's a
Yankee Rule 5 guy. But Evaldi, Waka, and Hill have all been great.
That's the problem.
I don't think any of them.
That's the problem. They've all been electric, and you're 10-16. What happens because of the lineup? Dude, this lineup is not coming around. I'm sorry, it's not coming around.
So let's talk. So let's talk about the lineup really quickly. Obviously, listen, you're safe with your big 3 boppers as far as – so I will give you guys this stat right now. So right now, Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, Rafael Devers. Xander's obviously having a career year. It's a contract year for him. That man is going to go get paid somewhere. He's hitting 355. JD's hitting 306. Rafael Devers is hitting 284. The next highest batting average on
Devers,
the team.
You got to mention with Devers, though, his on-base is atrocious. It's like under 300.
His on-base is atrocious. It's a little right over 300.
That's bad.
JD's hasn't been awesome yet. Hasn't been awesome either. I think he's like 350 or something. Next highest batting average on the team, Verdugo hitting 217.
Dude,
what are you supposed to do?
Guy's
got Verdugo hitting 217, Trevor Story hitting 210. I mean, you've got 2/3 of your lineup hovering around the Mendoza line.
But where do they go?
What do you expect?
They got rid of
all
the complimentary bats, like Enrique Hernandez,
which is
out for useless Trevor Story. You swapped out so many good pieces. You brought Jackie Bradley back for Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe was an animal.
That was the most, that's like one of those questions that they are going to be asking for years. They didn't get rid of Kike Hernandez, by the way. He's out.
They need him back. They need him back.
They need him bad, yeah. Yeah,
Jay's
he's been terrible this year, though.
Okay, so they didn't get rid of him. That's smart.
Kike's been terrible. No, they got rid of, but they did get rid of Renfro, which makes no sense. Honestly, listen, on paper, this lineup is too good. Verdugo's not a 217 hitter. Trevor Story, I mean, listen, the writing's been on the wall.
I think Verdugo's
right?
soft. I think Verdugo's soft because he in the field, dude, he gets so rattled in the field. I don't know if I've ever seen a baseball player get as rattled as Alex Verdugo in the field. It's insanity.
I like what I see out of him. I mean, the fact that there's only 3 guys in their lineup that have a positive WAR this year is just it's mind-boggling.
They're like the Cardinals right now to me.
They are floundering. I will say this: I think the Red Sox will
the thin lineup
back up. I think they're in a world of pain because it's too hard for them to compete in this division. That being said, though, I still think they've got a chance to finish potentially third.
I don't. The bullpen is going to blow. The bullpen's just going to keep blowing games, game after game after game. It's going to keep
the bullpen. Listen, you put a bullpen under the amount of stress that the Boston bullpen's been under, they're going to blow games. That's what's going to happen. If the lineup starts turning it around, gives a little relief to the bullpen, you don't know what'll happen.
We'll see.
But yeah.
My thesis is that bullpen is going to cost them like 40 games this season because it's so unbelievably bad.
It could. I saw a stat yesterday. There's been 20 games blown in the ninth this season. The Red Sox have blown 4 of those 20. So we're talking 20%. No other team has even blown 2.
I mean, 14 and 12, completely different story right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they don't actually have a closer. I mean, they left their closer off their roster last year for the playoffs. They were like, we can't even bring you here because you're so bad. And then they brought him back this season. So Baltimore, we could basically just skip by, right? What up, Love with the Trish? How are you, brother? What'd you say, Hal?
3-1 Rangers. 3-1 Blue Shirts. Playoff hockey, boys. We're getting a little excited here. But this isn't that.
We can.
We don't need to talk about the Orioles. They stink. No surprise.
They're the same thing they've been. They have a little bit of hitting.
Hopefully Cedric Mullins gets bailed out of there one day.
He's awesome.
He is. I stand by what I said though.
He's got some power podcast. Too.
I don't want any one of our listeners to ever be betting the Baltimore Orioles in a baseball game.
Why?
Stand by it.
They're 9-16
because they stink. They're 9-16. Why don't you start betting the Cincinnati Reds? They're only 6 games.
There will be a time our finger will be on the pulse. So I'm selling the Red Sox. I probably have a small buy on the Blue Jays right now. That's it right now for me in the AL East. Do you have any teams you definitely want to buy or sell?
I'm talking about
shorter term.
Listen, Shorter terms, I'm buying the Blue Jays. I'm buying the Rays because I think they're really turning a corner. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 3 in a row. I think they're turning a corner. The Red Sox, listen, we're talking short term. Yeah, I'm selling. Baltimore, I'm selling.
Okay. Dustin Harris has full fade mode on the O's too.
Yeah.
Yeah, their bullpen actually gets stretched more too. Their bullpen's going to get exposed even more, even though it already sucks. All right, so AL Central, we start off with the surprise Twins in first place. This is one shitty division.
It is the worst division in baseball, far and away. It's disgusting. It's a crime.
Yeah, it is.
Because I'm looking. I mean, listen, they have been, though, you look at the team and listen, they have been decent. You're getting exactly what you'd expect out of most of these guys. Byron Buxton finally healthy, seeing near 300. OBP is not great. He's also, I think, hit 7 dingers this year, right? Something like that. So, I mean, he's been as advertised finally. And then, Correa is starting to turn it around. Giershella, you're getting 250 out of him with like a plus 300, with like a plus 330 OBP. That's basically what you sign up for. And then you get his glove at the hot corner.
I noticed Rocco Baldelli is a big shuffling the lineup guy. He likes participating in this lineup shuffle thing. I don't know about this. I don't know about these guys. we were saying last time that everything's going well for them. I'm starting to notice when things go poorly for this team, they fall apart.
I agree, and I'll say this: this team, put them in any other division, and I am selling every fucking piece of stock I have on them.
Yeah, that's true.
But in this division, I'm buying, man. If they're gonna play most of their games against the rest of their division, which they are, I'm not really buying anyone else in the division. Do the White Sox maybe turn it around? Maybe.
Shorter term, Cleveland. I think they've bottomed. Short term. They're
White
still
Sox?
not playing well, but they're at least not like just committing errors to get themselves out of games. Like they were literally kicking the ball like away, just being like, I don't want to win. Now at least it's a little
agree.
better.
I agree that lineup and roster is too good to be playing sub 500 baseball. I think things will pick up for them. I think the Guardians, this is what we'll get all year with them. We'll get, I think they're going to hover. I think they're going to hover right under 500, maybe a little bit worse than that. The problem is just like Dustin said, the lineup is coming back down to earth. Like Jose Ramirez,
pitching will probably improve a little bit, though.
The pitching will improve a little bit.
Starting pitching, starting, not relief. Starting pitching should improve a little bit. So maybe get a minor uptick there and then a minor decrease, or not a minor decrease, probably a steady regression in the lineup.
I'm selling on their bullpen.
Yes.
I will say, though,
that Class kid is not a closer. He is not ready to be a major league closer.
He is not. I do like this Miles Straw kid, though.
Yes, he is.
I've enjoyed watching him play.
Yes.
370 OBP. He's already stolen, I think, 6 bags this year. He is an exciting part of the lineup. He's also got 25 hits.
Dude, if Quan keeps this up, their 1, 2, 3 is pretty legit. It's just the rest of it is literally just non-existent. Like it just there's nothing. Josh Naylor's the highlight of the rest of it. Like we're just.
This Owen Miller guy's been pretty sensational too.
I don't know much about him, so it's hard for me to project it to continue with him.
Yeah, and then Jimenez has been good too.
Lou Bob, Eloy and company will turn it around. I tend to think the White Sox will too. I'm going to buy a little bit of White Sox. I'm not going to sell. I think Cleveland's gone through a little regression with the bats period, and now it could even out, go sideways. So I'm not selling any Cleveland. I'm selling a little bit of Minnesota, buying a little bit of White Sox. Are you touching Detroit or KC? KC doesn't deserve our fucking work.
Not with a 10-foot pole.
If Mike Matheny's not going to try, we're not going to try and talk about them because he's not even trying.
I don't know. I was reading a lot of good press about Matheny in Kansas City. How the players are really responding well to him. And,
no, you didn't. Are you making that up?
Listen, I did. Apparently, he's in the weight room with him every day.
Get out of here.
Listen, I'm just telling you what I read.
This is insanity. Mike Matheny?
Mike Matheny, former pride of St. Louis. Now the pride of, a few miles away in Kansas City.
The man who was gifted a championship and a job for the rest of his life.
Listen, you win a championship. Listen, Joe Girardi keeps getting jobs because of that one championship.
That was Tony La Russa's championship, though. Detroit, I don't
know. If anything, it was Yachty's. No, Detroit. Listen, Detroit is not a good baseball team.
They might not be. You might be right.
No, they're not might be. They aren't. They're too short in the lineup. Their pitching is mediocre. They don't pass the eye test.
The lineup isn't. The lineup is too short. I agree. The bullpen's pretty good. The starting pitching is not enough. Not enough. There.
Starting pitching is not nearly enough.
I shit on the Twins and they go up. They just took a 3-2 lead. I shit on them. Byron Buxton, your boy.
The Bucks.
Swinging on a 3-0 pitch, going for it.
Listen, hot take, and I will eat my words on this at the end of the year. If Byron Buxton stays healthy, he's got an outside chance of winning the AL MVP.
Shan, you're wild. You know who else has an outside chance? Fucking J.P. Crawford's has an electric start going. That's my guy. I have so many J.P. Crawford trading cards. I have no idea why. So many of them. And then you don't, whatever, just KC and Detroit, whatever. I mean, I can't buy either of them right now.
No, If anything, I agree with you. I think my big buy in this division is the White Sox. I think they're starting to turn it around. The roster is too good. This isn't going to be a sub 500 team for the rest of the year.
I don't think the lineup is clicking yet, but I do think they're slowly turning it around. And the 8-9 guys blew so many games for them. When those guys start to turn around too, it'll just be better. Like it inevitably has to be better.
They really did.
Okay. I dig it, though. Moving along. So our big buy and no sells. I don't really have any. I have maybe a little sell on Minnesota. That's it.
Maybe a little sell in Minnesota.
When they're not playing like Kansas City or Detroit.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk about the AL West because that has been a fun division in some ways this year.
Yeah, this is the most surprises. This is like the Secret Santa division.
It is. So I'll say this. I am buying the fuck out of the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh, I know you are. You're right there. You're smelling all the Kool-Aid. You're in their backyard.
I smell it all the Kool-Aid. I am a season ticket holder, proudly. And, I mean, dude, you know.
Are those prices going up? The prices on tickets day to day?
You know, not a lot of fair weather fans in Southern California, so it's tough. But I mean, listen, I don't know how we don't talk about Taylor Ward, who is statistically the best player in baseball right now. The guy just cannot stop
big spots too. Guy comes through in big spots,
huge spots. Like last night, putting the game out of reach against Boston. Dude, I mean, the guy's got a 1.19 OPS. He's hitting 370. He's got an almost 500 on base percentage. WAR's 1.3. I mean, dude, he is, you know, he's been a revelation. And then Mike Trout is doing Mike Trout things.
That guy's
but the problem is he going to stay healthy? It's what you and I have always talked about. Is the legend of Mike Trout fraudulent because of his lack of ability to stay healthy?
It's hard for me to not buy this team.
I'm buying them.
I want to sell them versus left-handed pitching, though, because they have their stats are bloated versus lefties. They do need to regress versus lefty pitching like they did today against Rich Hill. I got that part of the handicap right. Ohtani was electric today. He was amazing painting today. 99 and then just whipping his off-speed stuff wherever he wanted. He pitched well.
Ohtani looked good for up until today. I have really kind of said that Ohtani doesn't really pass the eye test despite his numbers looking good pitching wise. But
this is what he does. He does this where he puts it all together one game and then everybody will buy in next game and he'll let up like 4 at home to the Astros or something.
Yeah, that's fair. But the other thing is their pitching has been great too. I mean, Syndergaard's been awesome. Rizal Iglesias has been great. Barria,
Tepera.
Sandoval, Tepera. I mean, their bullpen has been unbelievable too.
I know. It's insane. I mean, it's hard for me.
Warren.
I'm not going to buy them, but I'm not going to sell them. I am going to sell them versus left-handed pitching. I'm going to have to respect them versus most teams, though. I can't. I'm pinning too much. This Angels team might be at least an above 500 baseball team or something.
Listen, I think this Angels team has an outside chance of winning this division.
And Anthony Rendon's probably going to come around at some point. The Walsh kid's hitting okay.
He's too good to not.
I don't know. We'll see. But I can't sell. I thought I'd be selling. I can't sell. The Astros, on the other hand, they're just like the same thing, huh? Like if they changed at all, they're just the same exact thing.
They are the same team, except their pitching is definitely worse than it's been.
The bullpen's definitely worse than it's been. It's a thin bullpen.
It's a very thin bullpen.
But they're like run of the mill to me right now. I keep trying, like maybe it's because I don't like either team, but I keep thinking like the Rays and the Astros are going to regress, and they're just like the same teams they've always been. It's just like the same damn thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, they also don't really have anyone with an over 350 on base percentage. I think maybe Yordan Alvarez. Batting average-wise, I don't think anyone's hitting over 300 in the lineup. You know, it's been kind of lifeless. There's a lot of talent in the lineup between Brantley, Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, Bregman,
Kyle Tucker's pretty
Gurriel.
good. I like Kyle Tucker.
Yeah,
He's pretty good
no,
baseball.
I do too. Yuli Gurriel too is a good baseball player.
Unbelievably steady. Yeah, they're the same thing. There's too many.
They are
like
the same thing.
That core keeps it
Listen,
together.
For the viewers, I'm always buying Houston Astros stock. As much as I hate their guts, I'm buying Houston Astros stock. It's a good roster. They're well coached. And, the bullpen might blow a few games here and there, but at the same time, they'll figure it out. I'm buying Houston Astros. Seattle, here's the most mind-boggling is David's early AL West pick to win the division, the Seattle Mariners.
Throw them out the ocean, Ho. Throw them out the ocean.
Yeah, we're selling. Okay, we're selling. I mean, there was a lot of excitement.
I'm selling. I don't want nothing to do with them.
Listen, there was a lot of excitement going into this year with the lineup that they put together. J.P. Crawford, is it France or France?
Tyler?
Yeah.
Ty? I don't know. When he starts hitting a little better, I'll pronounce it. We'll worry about it.
Hitting a little better? What do you mean?
Is he the only one hitting 300? He's the one hitting 300.
He's hitting 333.
He's hitting 333, and J.P. Crawford's still hitting over 350?
J.P. Crawford hitting 364.
And this lineup is still this bad?
Yeah, J.P. Crawford's got a 450 on base percentage, and then Tom Murphy is also hitting 323 with a 462 on base percentage.
Dude, this team is inept at stringing together hits in the right sequences and working together as a team. I think when they traded Graveman at the end of last year and the team got all upset, I think they're dealing with the residual from that because they look like a dead baseball team. They look dead.
Well, they do in some ways. Also past their top really four guys, which is Crawford, France, Murphy, and Moore. Nobody else is really hitting. I mean, Frazier's hitting 230 with under 300 OBP. Julio Rodriguez is hitting 230 with an under 300 OBP. It's no one else is really hitting is the problem.
But
getting on base for that matter.
I watched Christian Javier carve through this lineup like a knife through butter, which you cannot. Christian Javier's the guy in the Astros rotation / long relief. That when you get him, you're like, oh, I got Christian Javier, time to score some runs. And they he cut through him like it was nothing. I don't see any adjustment from the lineup. I don't think they have anybody telling people what to do, calling it out, being yo, he's throwing this right now. Any adjustments lineup-wise, it's just a mess. No approach, no team approach, just nothing.
Yeah, I also wonder if they're well coached also.
Scott Cervais, I don't remember much about him from playing. I just remember him being a utility guy.
I don't remember much about him either, honestly.
He was a utility guy for the Angels, right?
And honestly, I haven't watched a lot of Mariners baseball this year, so I can't really speak to how he's been managing the pen. But
I've been betting on him and losing tons of money. I've been watching a lot. It's pretty bad.
Surprises me in the least, David.
Sell for
Texas?
me.
What are we doing? You're selling Seattle. I'm with you. I'm selling Seattle. So for the viewers to recap, we're buying Los Angeles of Anaheim and buying Houston, selling Seattle. What are we doing about Texas and Oakland?
I ain't buying the Angels, by the way. I'm selling them versus left-handed pitching. Chaney's going to be the Angels champion on this podcast this year. I can tell. The Rangers, I think the Rangers are I think they're like the Indians to me. They're like the same team as the Indians, 10 games under 500. Because I think they're scrappier than I thought they'd be, but I still don't think they're any good. Their bullpen's terrible.
Their bullpen is terrible. Their bullpen is terrible. Everyone kind of was batting their head, was kind of scratching their head when they decided to get Simeon, who's been awful, and Seager, and fill up their middle infield with really no supporting cast to speak of.
179 out of freaking Simeon so far.
Simeon's been terrible. I have him in fantasy. He has been killing me.
Do you remember how excited people were getting about this lineup preseason? And they have
I don't understand.
They have two people hitting over 200.
Listen, dude. Which is weird because they're also on a 4-game win streak. But you look at Simeon. The truth is he wasn't really seeing or he wasn't really getting pitched to in Toronto. I mean, he had the protection, and now he's actually seeing pitches, and he's hitting like shit.
I think he's a pretty decent player, though. When he was in Oakland, he kind of had it was kind of similar to this lineup more, and he was still decent.
I agree. I'm not. Listen, I am selling Seattle, Texas, and Oakland.
Oh, we play them this weekend.
We do.
We play Texas this weekend.
Yeah,
that's nice. Good timing. I like it.
I'm happy about it as well. Dave.
Although if they're playing good baseball, I mean they played decent enough the other night. Although I saw some crazy. Their manager's a wild man too. Whoever Texas's manager is, I don't know. I think Texas is right about what they are now.
I am as out. Yeah, I mean I'm out on Texas. I just I'm selling. I don't think I think they're going to be a sub 500 baseball team. Too many holes in the lineup. Too many holes in pitching.
It's hard to sell. It's hard to sell the A's on a 6-game losing streak. But this team is so deficient of talent. It's like insane.
They got rid of everyone, man. They're not even worth talking about on this podcast. There's really
they are scrappy though. They're scrappy.
They're scrappy. The fact that they've won 10 games is honestly a miracle. I mean, I will say this Noose kid has been fun to watch, and
I know he's nice.
And so has this Pinder kid too. But past that, I don't really love what I'm seeing. They don't. To use your line, they don't really pass the eye test.
Agreed. And I think like in the beginning of the season, they had the little bit of the chip on their shoulder. Like, like everybody, we sold everybody, management thinks we suck. And now it's like, we just suck.
Exactly.
All right. So buy, sell wise, Canny's buying the Angels. I'm selling
the Angels. I'm buying Houston.
I'll buy Houston too.
I am selling Texas, and I agree with you on a 6-game losing streak for Oakland. What do you? I mean, can you even sell them? Like,
yeah, they've been sold.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get into the NL and let's talk about your Mets.
I like my Mets. I'm a fan of these Mets. Although tonight getting the shit kicked out of them 7-0 right now. Their bullpen short term, I think they're a hard team to bet on because their bullpen's like in shambles. They sent Trevor May and the Reed Foley kid to the IL. Short term, they're going to have bullpen problems. So I don't know if this is a time to buy the Mets. I'm just going to lay off because I still think they're electric.
They have been incredible to watch. I will also, I mean, let's say, we'd also be remiss to not talk about the fact that old Uncle Stevie decided rather than send down one of his guys with options that he was going to DFA Robbie Cano and eat $40 million of dead money over the next 2 years.
He made a lot of money the last 2 years.
I mean, listen, Robbie Cano.
No, I'm not talking about Robbie. I'm talking about Steve.
Yeah.
He made a lot of money because you can tell the way he's moving. He's made a lot of money over COVID.
I agree. So I am, I would say I am, I mean, I'm not doing anything on the Mets. I think it's hard to buy or sell right now when they're playing this well.
Agreed. Marlins?
I'm buying.
Same. Yes, ho. That's a full buy signal from the pod. What are the Rangers still up 3-1?
Let's see.
Oh, I thought you're not watching the Rangers game?
Oh, the New York Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're up 3-2.
3-2 now.
3-2.
Yeah, I'm buying the Marlins. I like everything about them.
I'm buying the Marlins. I'm also buying the Atlanta Braves.
I'm getting a Jazz Chisholm jersey, by the way.
I wouldn't blame you if you did. Jazz Chisholm's been fun, man.
You're not worried that
that's
Atlanta
been fun.
hates each other?
No, because I think that's a narrative that you created in your head.
It's not. It's real, bro. They're 12-15.
Yeah, they're 12-15. They haven't gotten off to the start that everyone thought they'd get on, myself included. But at the same time, I mean, you're getting production out of most of the lineup. Dansby, Swanson will pick it up. I know Ozuna and Albies haven't been great, but with the rest of the lineup, you're getting production. I mean, Matt Olson is filling into Freddie Freeman's shoes quite nicely. As far as their pitching is concerned, though, that is where I get a little worried, if anything. I think Fried. Listen, I know Fried had a rocky start. I think it's going to get better. It's already getting better for him. And the kind of decline of Charlie Morton this year has been. It's been sad to watch. I mean, that guy's been a staple in Major League Baseball.
Dude, it might be done. It might be done. I watched him the other night. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Dude. It might be over.
He doesn't look good. This Kyle Wright guy, on the other hand, though, has been electric for them.
He's been really good. I agree Fried's going to turn it around.
He's already turning it around.
I don't understand how you're telling me it's made up in my head. If you were on a team that won a World Series and you're one of the stars of the team making literally $5 million a year, that's less than like a decent reliever. And then some asshole comes in and he just starts making $100 million, like just out of nowhere. You'd be like, "Oh, you're cool with that?" I think, Chan, I think you're blowing a little smoke. I think you'd be a little hurt.
I think these guys want to win. These guys want to win. They've gotten the taste. Yeah, and they've got the taste and they want to keep winning. Yeah, I think they still have the fire. You get the taste, you want to keep winning. It's a young team.
Sometimes you get complacent. It depends on your leadership.
I think more will be revealed. I still stand by the fact that I'm buying. I think the roster is better than the baseball that they're playing.
Chan, let's do right now. Over under on Braves picks. I'm going to type it in the comment. Braves wins at the end of the season. I'm going to type it in the comment. They're 12-15. I think they're under 85. I think they're under 500. I think they're an under 500 baseball team. I'm going to come out and say it.
Okay, so you're saying then let's set it at 82.5 or 81.5.
No, give me the 82.5.
What do you mean? You're saying they're under.
Damn it, fine. You're going over 82.5.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
You should have to take over 82.5 though, and then the middle. If it's exactly 82 and 82, if they're exactly 500, nothing happens.
No, it'd be 81 and 81. There's 162 games.
Damn it, you're right.
So 81.5.
All right. That's the and we'll put steak dinner on it.
Okay.
All right. And then the Phillies I think the Phillies are they're just Nick Castellanos' love for winning is no match for what a shitty manager Joe Girardi is. That guy is next level. His teams play such bad baseball, it's insane.
They do. I mean, listen, we watched it for years. The way he mismanages the pen, on top of the fact that their pitching really isn't that good to begin with.
It could get a little better because I like Ranger Suarez. Nola, you have to respect, and then Wheeler will get a little better.
Wheeler will definitely get better. I like this Kyle Gibson kid. And then but then you go down the road. Nola's been meh, Wheeler's been meh, and then you look at their bullpen, and for fuck's sake, their bullpen's been terrible.
Yeah, I think that there's something about just not knowing how to win with this team. When you watch them play, like every close game, you're like, dude, that's not what you do there. Like you're just not doing what winning play. You're making losing plays over and over and over. Like they just on stupid plays, like catching somebody in a rundown and then not having anybody cover the next base. So they fuck that up. And then the guy gets an extra base on top of not getting the guy out. It's just like tripping over your own feet.
They just don't have the juice.
No, nothing. And Joe Girardi prevents you from ever getting the juice.
By the way, how unbelievable is it that Kyle Schwarber's hitting 193 with 7 home runs right now?
Insane.
That literally means he either hits a home run or gets out.
Yeah, they have problems just abound. They're a sell team for me. I can't buy them.
It's hard to sell them. It's hard for me to say sell because they're on a 3-game lose streak. But yeah, I'm optimistic on them at all for this year. If we're just talking short term, I wouldn't say so. But if we're talking long term, yeah, I mean, I'm
you
not
might be
in.
right. Yeah, probably similar vibe. But I just don't see how, especially in this division, because I think Washington will get a little better. I don't see how, although their bullpen sucks too. I don't see how Philly gets better because they're just bad at the actual concept of the game you're playing. Like, you have talent, but you can't actually do the task at hand. So what are you going to do?
I mean, Washington's pitching has been awful this year, though. We're talking about that. I mean, I think they've given up the second most runs in baseball this year.
Dustin Harris is on your team. My Braves come and don't let they don't like each other.
All right, Dustin, I'm with you. Listen, I think Jake's making this narrative up, so.
I'm not making it up. It's very real. Dustin, at least verify that it's a real thing, please, so I don't seem like a crazy person. Dustin, just verify that it's an actual thing that exists. I'm overplaying it maybe, but it's an actual concept that exists. I didn't make it up. The Nationals, I think their bullpen is just
their horrific. Pitching in general has been
horrific,
repugnant this year. I'm actually going to see them live on Saturday.
They're playing the Angels?
Yep. Playing the Angels live on Saturday. Going to be sitting first row behind the Nationals dugout. We'll be having a very detailed conversation with Juan Soto.
They're going to kick the crap out of the Nationals in that series.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I will be betting.
Will probably be
I will be betting the Angels money.
Coming from Coors.
I mean, we'll see what we can buy in that, but
yeah, coming.
And then also, I mean, we're talking about the Nationals, dude. It breaks my heart to see the legend of Nelson Cruz finally coming to a close.
Yeah, it's over.
It's done.
It's been over for like
it's
2
done.
seasons.
I mean, it really hasn't been over for 2 seasons. I mean, dude, even when he got traded to – yeah, thank you. Thank you.
That's funny.
Thank you, Dustin.
Let's see. We'll see about that, boys.
But, yeah, I mean, it's sad to see Nelson Cruz. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's been over for a while. He hit really well when he got traded. When he got traded to Tampa last year, didn't he?
He hit really well?
I thought he did.
I don't know. He just every time that guy's been up at a big spot in like the last 3
Yeah, I mean,
seasons.
listen, he's 41 years old. He didn't hit really well. He hit 226. 226 with 13 home runs but before that, he was actually hitting really well with Minnesota before he got traded.
But I think it was like a sample size thing. Like he actually played 140 games last season.
Exactly.
Wow. So maybe he's not off the cliff. It's just a rough start.
No, he's off the cliff now. He is. You watch his at bats, man. He's just late on everything. Like it's hard to watch.
Yeah. Well, I can't sell the Nationals. They're already low enough.
Yeah, you don't sell the Nationals. You just you let them sit there. That's what they are. Let's talk about the else. Let's talk about the Central.
I think the Brewers are awesome. They're not turning into. We just said slow start. I think they're a top 3 team in baseball. Pretty clear.
No, I mean, your Brewers have looked like a top 3 team in baseball. I mean, on paper, they are a top 3 team in baseball. 3 best records in the major leagues right now belong to the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, and the Milwaukee Brewers. And they also passed the eye test very significantly as well. So I am with you. I am still buying this Brewers stock. I think the NL Central is starting to show its colors.
I agree.
My early pick of the
I can see it just maintaining the order it's in now for the rest of the season. Like Milwaukee, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Chicago, Cincinnati.
I can too. I mean, I think St. Louis could give Milwaukee not a run, but a scare. I don't think this is a 500 baseball team. I think it's an over 500 baseball team. Too much veteran leadership on that team and a lot of young talent.
Brew Crew are legit.
I agree. Brew Crew is legit.
And the Brewers, the Brewers over these last few seasons, if you've noticed, have gotten much better at just doing the things good teams do. Like they don't relinquish leads. They kick the crap out of the poor teams in their division. Like they just do the little things that like, okay, this is starting to turn into, because you expected Craig Counsell to build something there. We had to go opposite him in that World Series. Craig Counsell was an electric player. He was really good at the small things.
I agree. I mean, and you also look at that Milwaukee Brewers team, and listen, dude, they, in my opinion, have probably the best starter in baseball, and then on top of that, they also have one of the best relievers in baseball. Like it's a very, very talented team.
Hader's given up 2 hits so far this year. 2 hits.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they are going to win the division. I think St. Louis could be a wild card team potentially. Probably not, given the fact that I think all 3 wild cards have the potential to come out of the NL West this year.
And then you're gonna have the Marlins too.
And you could.
The Braves, the NL is pretty stacked.
Yeah, the NL is a lot better than the AL this year. There's no question about it.
Yeah, not that close. The Cardinals, have you noticed anything specific about them? I still believe, just in my bones, that like they're really good at kicking the shit out of bad pitchers. When they face a good pitcher, this lineup gets shorter than a very small man.
Yeah, I mean, dude, between Arenado, Edman, Goldschmidt, they've been unbelievable. I mean, Arenado has been, right now he's probably the front runner for NL MVP.
Yeah, he's insane.
Has to be. Edman's been great. Goldie's been great. Harrison Bader is still has an over 300 OBP. I guess you can't complain about that. Yachty's doing Yachty things. I mean, you don't really keep Yachty for his numbers. You keep Yachty for his defense and his veteran leadership. Tyler O'Neill will turn it around, and I know the guy that
Tyler O'Neill has no range of motion when he moves. He's so jacked that his arms, like if you just pitch him right under like his hands, he can't, like inside fastballs. How does that guy get to an inside fastball?
Listen, I agree. Tyler O'Neill's not going to hit just 2 home. Like, Tyler O'Neill will hit for power. I think at his ceiling could be like a 240 guy. 250 maybe. I'll take 240, 250 if he's hitting the 30 home runs he's supposed to hit. Like,
he's got 17 RBIs, so he's got a good amount of RBIs early, which is good.
And then Dylan
Arenado has 60 total bases already. What the hell? 7 homers, 23 RBIs, 360, 420.
31 fucking hits.
Yeah, good for him. I don't believe Dylan Carlson will never come around. Dylan Carlson will never come around, I promise.
I know you say that.
Dude, you watch him swing the bat.
Yeah, he doesn't look terrible swinging the bat. He's also 23. Give the kid a little time, man.
No, it is now or never, Ho. You know this.
I mean, I would say I'm buying on them only because they've been really mediocre the last couple weeks. And if we're talking short term, I think that they could start to see who do they play coming up.
I also don't think that Gallegos is a closer.
No, I don't either. I mean,
he's not. He's not a closer.
Never mind. Next 10 games, they play 7 against the San Francisco Giants.
Although it's a good time to be playing the Giants. Good time to be playing.
That's tough. But then in between those 2 series, they play Baltimore 3 times. So, you got to think that'll be a get-right series for them.
Yeah.
Getting a little deeper into the division, I am as, I mean, it's hard to say you're selling on the Cubs because they are what we thought they were.
They're not going to be the spunky team. People were saying maybe this is a sleeper team kind of thing. No. That lineup stinks. There's nobody in it.
No, it's not a good lineup. The pitching is not great.
The bullpen's been worse than expected. All kinds of problems.
Yeah, and then listen, I don't even think we need to actually talk about the Cincinnati Reds, who literally could finish this season being the worst team in baseball. I mean, they are awful.
You mean baseball history, you're saying?
Yeah,
not exactly. Just like baseball this year.
No, baseball history. They are awful. They've given up 166 runs already and negative.
Dude, they have a negative 87.
Negative 87. They've won 3 games. They are 3-22. Like that is
astounding.
when is it? It's the worst start. I saw some stat like the worst start in I don't even know how many years. Like something insane through 25 games.
It's so unsustainable to continue this losing rate.
It is.
They have to start winning at some point.
Well, so it's almost like, are we buying on them?
Like that's what I'm saying. Like at some point when they play other shitty teams, I have to buy them because you physically can't end the game with. What's the lowest number of wins in regular season history?
Well,
has anybody ever gotten in the 40s before?
Let's see. Lowest. I feel like the Orioles have the lowest.
Oh my God. The Cleveland Spiders of 1899.
Yeah. Well,
20 and 134.
I don't count anything before the live ball era. 03. So 62, the Mets won 40 games.
Oh my God.
03, the Detroit Tigers won 43. 52, the Pirates won 52. I mean, Baltimore Orioles in 2018 won 47.
I mean, this is on pace
Detroit
for
Tigers. Detroit Tigers in 2019 won 47.
So they're on pace to win less than 40 games.
Well, so let's pace it right now. So they are
3-22.
They're on pace to win 19.4 games this year.
Insanity. It's crazy how you can be that bad. They have to be better than that. Although their bullpen, like, how do you ever close a game?
No, you can't. I mean, they punted going into this year anyways.
I cannot sell them, though. They can't go low.
No, I mean, how can you sell them?
We're projecting them for the worst.
by a long shot, too.
By half. They would have to win half the games that I have people messaging me. Like the first thing I do every day is bet against the Reds. So that's what people like message me. It's like when I wake up, I bet against the Reds and then do the rest of my day.
Listen, I think let's play a game. Actually, I wanted to do this with the Orioles. Let's put $100 on the money line against the Reds every game for the rest of the season, and let's see how much money we win. I bet
you we lose. This team can't be that. How could you be this bad? It's like a real baseball team. It's not like they actually have people on the team. It's not like they have a real starting.
Do they though?
They have a couple starting pitchers. They have at least one. They have one like plus starting pitcher. They have at least two bats.
Listen, the best player on their team this year is Tommy Pham, and that should never be the case. Tommy Pham is not the best player on any team.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I mean, they've got
India's super young. Yeah,
no, it's a lot of spare parts like Moustakas, fucking Brandon Drury, Kyle Farmer, and then Joey Votto. I mean, dude, it's over for him. It breaks my heart. He's been awesome to watch. He's been one of the most consistent players in baseball. Stayed in Cincinnati despite the opportunity to chase rings, and I mean, it's done. It's done. He's doing things he's never done before. He's just, and it's sad. I mean, this is a career 300 hitter that's hitting below the Mendoza line this year.
Oh my God, dude! The Reds are so bad that their actual projections have them at 5-20. Like they just actually suck. It's not even like they're blowing wins. It's just like you're terrible.
No,
like,
they're not a good team. They're not a good team.
Do you have any thoughts on the Pirates? I actually think they're kind of spunky. I like them. I like them as like a road dog. I'm a fan of them.
So that is one team I have not. Well, I have literally not even watched a highlight for them this year.
The kid Brian Hayes is like a perennial all-star.
Yeah. I mean, and then what's it called? Brian Reynolds will be better, I guess.
He's really good. Yeah, he's a good hitter. Yeah.
But yeah, the Brian Hayes and then Vogelback is also having a pretty banner year with them, and so is Gamble.
Yeah, Vogelback's been like either leading off or batting in like the 3-hole. It's insane.
Yeah.
He bats really high in that lineup. So in this division, I mean, I'm right there with the Pirates. I think they're going to be like, I would put them in whatever tier right below like the Rangers and the Indians. And then I have like the Cubs are garbage. Cincinnati, you can't sell. I mean, you physically can't. We just did the math. I mean, they'd have to sell them right now. They have to win like 10 games this season.
Okay, I agree.
I don't know. This whole division is just kind of par for the course. I think this is how they are. This is where they're going to go right now.
I think so too. All right. Well, let's talk about the NL West and let's wrap this up.
Yeah, Chan. Let's good team. So it's a good place to end. It's a good place to wrap up with.
I am I am buying on the Dodgers. I have been since the beginning of the year. I will continue to. This is a team that needs no introduction. Everything on that roster seems to be working, despite the fact that Mookie Betts is off to one of his worst career starts.
This team is so frustrating because they're just so good late game. Their bullpen's so good that they just win the second half of every game they play. It's brutal.
Agreed. And then Freddie Freeman has been, he's been the best hitter on the team.
They took every good reliever in baseball and put him on one team.
They did.
It's sickening.
They did. It is. Listen, I don't love it either. And then, Kershaw has been amazing this year. Urias has been amazing this year. Bueller's been amazing this year.
Dude, this whole division is at or above 500.
Yeah, it's an amazing
Even
division.
the D-backs.
So I am – I'm buying the Dodgers. I'm buying the Padres too, to be honest with you.
Are you?
Yep.
I don't know whether I believe in the lineup, but I don't know how to value Bob Melvin because he's making a huge difference.
He's making a massive difference. Also they have two of the best hitters in baseball right now between Hosmer and Machado and Manny.
Hosmer's been rejuvenated?
Hosmer's hitting 378 with a 457 on base percentage and over 1,000 OPS and a 1.4 WAR. He has been life-changing. 31. So between Hosmer and Machado this year, they have 66 hits between the two of them this year.
Holy shit! Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
They were trying to boo Hosmer out. They were sitting Hosmer versus lefties for a while.
Yeah, Hosmer's been unbelievable.
What a winner! That guy's such a winner.
Yeah. And then their pitching's been good too.
Who would have thought we'd see the Rockies at number 3?
That's an interesting team. It might be the Chris Bryant effect.
They also have they have some good young players. Like that Connor Joe kid's really good. Charlie Blackman's still really good. McMahon's pretty good.
Listen, you talk about you and I talk about it a lot. Veteran leadership on a Major League Baseball team is of the utmost importance.
Together all the time.
Exactly. And I will tell you right now, in today's league, there are 2 guys that I want on my team as far as veteran leadership is concerned. Anthony Rizzo.
And Chris Bryant.
Chris
Bryant was electric for the Giants last year. Electric.
He was. He really was.
Those two really are winners, huh?
Dude, they're winners. The magic that they caught in Chicago, I don't include Javi Baez in that conversation, even though he was amazing in Chicago. He just doesn't really seem like he has the leadership potential that the other two have.
Agreed.
But
seems like a crazy
yeah. Yeah, dude, Rizzo and Bryant. Then, dude, you look at the San Francisco Giants. Also, they're 14-10 in 4th place right now.
Real quick though, I want to sell Colorado stock. They have a negative run differential. There's some stuff here where we're getting to the end of this.
I am selling the Colorado stock.
The bullpen sucks too.
Yeah, there's just no way they finish in the top 3 in that division. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm selling Colorado.
I don't think they're going to finish over 500.
I am buying if I'm buying anything, I'm buying the absolute fuck out of the San Francisco Giants right now.
Agreed.
I am.
They've hit as badly as they could to start.
Yeah.
They played terrible in their 4 games over 500.
Exactly. So I am all in on that.
What's the lineup look like?
Arizona Diamondbacks, I'm selling. I think they are at their ceiling. You have to. They're not going to play better.
And everything is off of home runs. They're number 1 in baseball in percentage of their runs created by home runs. The one thing I will say about this Giants team is that this bullpen might fuck them. That kid is not a closer. Camilo Doval is not ready. There's a lot of pieces in this bullpen that can cost you some things.
It could. Carlos Rodon is looking like the best signing in the offseason this year, though.
He's filthy.
He really is, man.
He's a really good pitcher. I like him a lot.
And it's crazy.
41 Ks through his first 29 innings in a Giant uniform.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
3-1 with a
12.7 K through 9.
Man,
what do you mean? Listen. You've got me fooled. You've got me kind of scratching my head on that Camilo Doval take.
Too wild for me, man. He's like Clays for me. I put them in the same bucket.
His numbers are impressive. I mean, he's got 14 strikeouts over 10 innings this year, of 2.61 ERA. 4 saves already.
Eye test. Okay. That's an eye test for old Veed. I think he's a lot like Emmanuel Clace for the Indians for me. They're very similar guys. They're not ready to close yet, in my opinion. We'll see.
Yeah.
Doval's had more chances to learn because he had all last year. All right, Ho.
Rangers are up 4-2.
Are they?
Yeah.
Tigers are down 1-0.
But all right, Veed. Well, listen. Thank you to anyone that stuck with us through this hour and 15-minute little jaunt, and we will be back on Sunday, Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day. We'll do a little. Are you going home?
Nah. I'll be here.
Me either. Okay, so we'll do a Mother's Day one, and then we'll have I like the pulse check though. We should do it once a week just so we know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, listen. I think midweek we'll do the pulse check, and then Sunday we'll analyze the week and then go over picks for the Monday slate.
Real quick, if you had to buy 3 teams right now, short term, who would they be? For me, it's Marlins, Giants. Jays?
For me, it is Giants.
I like the defense Toronto's playing. The defense for Toronto. If you play good defense, other things follow in sports.
I'm buying Seattle.
Chan going up against me. Chan! Electric take. Electric. Channy thinks that lineup's going to start turning it around pronto. Starting tonight, you think they hit McClanahan?
I hope so.
I like that McClanahan kid. He's striking out 40% of the people he faces right now. McClanahan.
Jesus.
You know how insane that is for a starter?
It's unbelievable. By the way, I just forgot to tell you that the Yankees surged to the number 1 spot in ESPN's power rankings. So, not number 10, David.
Not number 10 at all. I'll move them up next week. When we go over on Sunday, they'll be a bit higher. As long as this weekend goes okay against the Rangers, we're a little spunky in Philadelphia. Are we playing at home?
Yeah, I mean, we've just been on the road.
Oh, true. And they're already in Philly, so they would just
today was a travel day, and I just saw Aaron Judge chugging a beer at the Rangers game. So I would imagine they're playing at home.
Aaron Judge was chugging a beer at the Rangers game?
He sure was.
I don't know if I like that for tomorrow.
We'll see, Davey.
You going to have a Judgian hangover?
I don't know. The way he's been hitting, I'll live with it.
That's true. He deserves a beer. All right. I love you, Ho.
Hey, you too. Thank you all. And
all right.
Until next time.
We'll talk on Sunday. Have a good one, guys.